Welcome to Everyday Life. Thank you for joining our podcast, Conversations Over Coffee. My name is Jen.
And I'm Dagda.
And we're going to hit you with the explicit content warning right off the bat. This podcast does include adult situations and adult language from time to time.
I'm an angel. I never fucking cuss.
Okay. Anyways, you ready to go?
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's go. But, that's because I'm a picky bitch. I'm not really picky, but I have to be in the mood for it. Mm-hmm. And anybody who would see this setup would be laughing because it's like, why do you have a glass of flavored water filled with ice and then just brewed hot coffee? Because I can. How you doing today?
I'm doing all right. How you doing?
So thankful to Jesus and his disciples that I don't have to go to my other job today. I ran out of Jesus by Thursday. Not my Thursday, but like the actual Thursday. So what day would that be for me? My Tuesday. I completely ran out of Jesus by my Tuesday. I had no more Jesus, and the Holy Spirit did not come see me. And I have had more interactions with the local police department because everybody else makes me call them, that I think I'm having a mental bro fair with them, like, go get them robbers, bro. Yeah. And what's super funny is the one guy, the one officer, I looked at him and I said, if I was 28 years old, I would give you a hug, and that way I could defend myself from your wife kicking my ass, because he's a young buck. But he's not wearing a wedding ring now, and I'm just like, I could hug you, but I'm not gonna. So I like fist bump because I don't find it. I don't want to be on their body camera that this older lady is so thankful that you caught the robbers. So yep, I ran out of Jesus on my Tuesday. Normally I make it to my Thursday.
Yeah.
Normally I make it to my Thursday, and then I get a little Holy Spirit on the morning of my Friday. Did not happen this week. Yeah. How about you? How'd your Jesus hold out?
Mine's usually good.
Yeah?
Yeah. There was one day where putting stuff out on the floor.
Yeah.
And this Asian lady came over and was digging through bins. Although this wasn't my bin, but she took out a puzzle and started to open the box, and I was thinking, bitch, I'm gonna fucking stab you.
Yeah. Yeah. You kind of have to go, please don't do that.
Yeah.
There was I feel really bad because this younger generation that's coming up, they look much older than they are.
Yeah, they're aging like milk.
Yeah, they're spoiled after 7 days. But and I feel bad, so I don't want to point that out. But I feel horrible in a way because somebody put out some kind of a skateboard thing. It's an adjustable. It's got two parts to it, and it's like a wave board, skateboard thing or whatever. And this dude who was too old to be on a skateboard got on a skateboard, and I'm like, please don't do that in my store. That's not safe. That's dangerous. And I shit you not, his mom goes, I'm sorry about that, smacks him on the back of the head, and says to him, how many times have I told you, you're almost an adult now. You need to think before you do these kinds of things. You could have got hurt. This is concrete. When I tell you he looked like he was approaching 40, I actually mean that.
Wow.
And his mom looked, well, I mean, she definitely looked older than me, but she wasn't. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, so my brain, of course, goes, okay, is she just saying that to her boyfriend or husband to be kind of a smartass? Or is this genuinely her kid? And I feel bad if he has like disabilities and that's why. And, I run through the gamut and I'm like, thank you, ma'am. And no shit, the guy's just like, sorry. I'm just like, God, fucking 30-year-olds that work around me. They're like, my back's broken. I got to go to the emergency care facility. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
I did have one encounter, but one thing that I saw that I was like, oh, that's awesome. There was this lady came in. She had like a baby in a stroller, and then like a five or six
toddler
son.
Yeah.
And she went over to the toy section. She got some dresses and then went over to the toy section with her kids. And her son was playing in the toy aisle and destroyed it. but she's standing there putting on dresses over her clothes to
Mm-hmm.
try them on. Anyway, when she gets done doing that, because I walked by, saw them doing this, and like, then I walked by again as she was leaving, and she had cleaned the aisle.
Yeah.
She had put everything back. I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. Please come back.
So, was she a Hispanic lady?
No, she was white.
Wow. So on Saturday afternoon, we had a mixed Hispanic family come in, which is always great because they're always willing to teach me more of the language. Because I'm like, look, I took Espanol in high school, but I also smoked a lot of pot, so I can understand a lot. Like sometimes I'll be walking by them and they'll be talking, and I'll catch myself giggling, and they're like, "Do you understand that?" I'm like, "Kind of. Were you saying something like this?" And they're like, "Yeah." I was like, "I'm not trying to eavesdrop. I promise you. It's just I know how you feel about people who won't get the fuck out of the way when you're trying to look at something." Or like they were this particular instance, they were talking about this older, not their race lady, who literally had a handbasket and a shopping cart, and she had items in both, and she was using it as blockers to keep people out of the aisle she was looking at. And I actually observed this because I was actually cleaning up a toy aisle, and I actually observed where this lady had seen this particular couple come into the aisle next to her, and she raced around like, "Oh, I haven't been there yet. I got to look first."
Yeah.
And so she was being pushy. I mean, I literally picked up the basket and put it on my trolley. And she's like, "Oh, that's mine." I'm like, "Oh, well, you have a cart. So why don't we just put this all in the cart then? Or do you want to put what's in the cart in the basket? One way or the other. You don't need both. We have a lot of shoppers who need that."
Yeah.
But so Saturday, it's like 7. Now, because off mic, we talked about this. The individual I'm having to work with is a low productive, not very productive member of the team. They have excuses right now, so we're just going to accept the excuses. They are what they are, right?
Mm.
So I'm cleaning. I've been cleaning for hours at this point, okay? And I come around the corner to go back to do the 5th cleaning on the toy aisle, and there is a disaster on the floor. And I'm like, oh. And I literally have this thing that I do out loud where I go, oh. And then I'm going to go up front because I do not see a parent attending these children. And I'm going to have somebody call for a parent's attention. Because now we actually have a physical notice up now.
Mm.
And we're like, as a management team, the management team, we're so tired of parents like wanting a break from their kids for an hour or two. They're literally making their children get away from them in the store. And that's not how this works.
Mm.
Because at that point, you've literally abandoned your child when you're telling your child, "Get away from me. I don't want you near me."
Yeah.
You're abandoning your child. So anyways, I get about halfway to the front register to go tell somebody, "Hey, I need a parental call," and I hear it. "Ay, Dios mío. Mijo." Other yelling, including the word fuck. And I turn back around thinking, shit, somebody's stealing somebody's kid, right? Turn back around, and this mixed Hispanic mom is making her 2 children clean up the mess. And she's literally saying to them, "What the fuck is wrong with you? This isn't your home.
Yeah.
You treat it like we're visitors. You treat it with respect. Clean it up now." Slapped them both on the back of the head, which is something I'm seeing more common now, is a lot of head slapping going on. Do people not realize you can actually cause brain damage doing that?
What do you think can cause brain damage? They slap them.
Don't deprive them of breath. Slap them hard. Anyways. Yeah. My Jesus ran out. It did get refilled a little bit yesterday because look, I am not highly religious. I'm not an atheist. I'm just like, have my own viewpoints, and I leave it at that. But my favorite thing to make people leave me the fuck alone when I'm doing projects, when they want to sit there and talk because, "Oh, you've got pretty eyes there. Oh, hey, girl, I love your boobies." Blah, whatever. I don't care what your excuse is, but that's my joke. I ran out of Jesus. So I had this lady. I'm doing my project that I'm supposed to be doing, minding my business, and I'm sitting there going, 6 more hours. Doing the chant in my head. 6 more hours, 6 more hours. "Hey, girl, how you doing?" "I'm fine, ma'am. How are you?" "Oh, I'm good, honey. I'm good." Oh, girl, I didn't notice your eyes. Your eyes are so pretty." "Well, thank you so very much. I get them from my mother. Now she's blind." They didn't get that joke, but whatever. And they're like, so how are you doing, honey? You look a little stressed today. You got that sweat going on. She goes, but you got this nice glow and really pretty eyes. What's going on? I'm like, I'm working, and this is what happens when you work hard doing a, 3/4 of my job is actually physical. Mm-hmm. Like, I got some more guns building up. Look at all these bruises everywhere. You should see, like, ladies and gentlemen, you should see it under the shirt. I've got bruises everywhere. And I said to her, I was just like, well, I ran out of Jesus like 3 days ago, and I was hoping that the Holy Spirit would come see me yesterday, because yesterday, I was like, Saturdays are usually my Fridays, but not this week. This week, today's my Friday. And she was so sweet. And she goes, praise for being honest that you ran out of Jesus. She goes, I appreciate that warning. I said, I think the Holy Spirit just visited me. I thought we were going to have a church revival in the store, because she didn't get that I was trying to make the point that no matter how you phrase it, we all run out of patience. And sometimes we are struggling to get the patience back. Yeah. But she was really sweet about it, because my newest cashier, she gives a pep talk. My newest cashier comes over. She goes, hey, so cute. She stands across the aisle for me. She's like, hey. I'm like, she's like, how you doing? I was just like, what do you? Like, so I did this thing, and it was an accident. And you remember the day? I didn't say what it was. And I'm like, oh. Because, yeah, I did that thing again today. I was like, okay. I was like, it's an accident. No, it was like, it's easy to do when you get in a hurry. Because my one cashier, and she's a trooper. She's my newest cashier. This cashier did almost $4,000 in sales by herself. Damn. She did really good. She did fantastic. So mistakes are going to happen. She really follows into that 2% rule that you expect to see error-wise. Mm. And the funny thing about it is, so when you're in retail, they expect a 2 to 3% error. Fast food is like 3 to 4% because it's a rushed environment. Retail is 2 to 3% error, one direction or other. Either you're going to be over or under. And she's actually stayed within like 0.12% error rate at the end of the day, because I fixed the problem. The problem was a very fixable problem. No big deal. Yeah. So, but this lady who's been trying to revive my Jesus, giving me some Holy Spirit, says to her, she goes, once long ago, before you were ever even thought of in your grandparents' eyes. And I'm like, yeah, this lady is kind of old, but my cashier's very young. She said, I worked for this company, and I had up in Seattle, and I had somebody come in, and it shows you the difference. The story will show you the difference in business between now and then. She goes, he came in and he says, I need 18 of these sweaters. They're cashmere sweaters. So back in the day, they were like $200 a piece. Yeah. Which is like now like $600 or something, maybe $700, whatever. And he said, here's my card. Here's my list. I expect it to be all gift wrapped and ready to go tomorrow by 3. She said, okay. She picked them. She like literally did every single thing and gets it all together, rings his total up. He picks his package up the next day. He comes back the day after that, and he looks at her and he goes, I'm going to tell you something. She goes, what's that? He goes, you're cute. And she goes, oh, well, thank you. You're pretty good looking for an older guy yourself. And he goes, you're not $52,000 cute, though. And she goes, what? And he goes, you put an extra 0 on this. I do need you to correct this. She'd receive commission. Now, this is how it used to be. Retail sales, you would have a base plus commission. Mm-hmm. And so her commission, the store she was working at, was 15%, which is very massive even back in that day. Mm-hmm. But 15% on $52,000, she didn't think anything about it, because they were just like, she just like thought she got a bonus or something. She was telling me, she goes, I literally thought I got a bonus. She goes, because it was a $7,700 bonus to be coming on my check. It was written on the log. And she goes, and the register was great. It was $750. But so she looks at my cashier. She goes, sweetheart, we all make mistakes. She goes, it's how you handle it with integrity that makes all the difference. Yeah. And I agree, because it literally had just happened. And I was just like, that's the best thing about my newest cashier, is she does the same thing I do. If she makes a mistake, she owns it immediately. Like, mm-hmm. I did it. Totally me. So I did get a little revival of Jesus, but not enough. It was a long week. I think I walked an average, which a lot of people are going to be like, oh, that's not a big deal. Listen, Linda, it is a big deal for somebody who spent an average walking 3,500 to 4,500 steps a day to now walking 10,000 plus.
Yeah.
It is huge. It is a big difference because I know that it is 75 steps from this door to that door. And it's like literally if I go from one wall of the company's building to the other, I think it's 155 steps or something like that. So and it's not because I'm tiptoeing, it's because I have short legs. I have a short stride. So, and I know that I'm doing these steps. I need to get a new pedometer or whatever, but I know I'm doing them because person I worked with had their step counter going this week. And she goes, this is really weird. I'm like, what's up? I've been up since 8 o'clock this morning. Yep. And it's saying I only did 1,800 steps. I'm like, oh, okay. That doesn't seem right. She's like, I know you're like running circles around me and everything, but this doesn't seem right. So, of course, it was a ha-ha. That's what she'd done on her 2 days off. Was 1,800 steps. She had forgotten to reset it, but thankfully she's got a cloud save. So when she pulled it down, she was actually at 2,800 steps.
Yeah.
And she's just like, oh my God, I said, yeah, I need to get a step counter going or whatever. She's like, you've literally done 4 times. It's the only admittance, one of the only 2 admittances she gave me this weekend that I'd literally been working hard. And I'm like, yep, I know. Everybody's off the chain with, I don't want to work anymore. We had people quit. And then they were offended that we didn't say, oh, please don't quit, darling. It's just like, bye.
You have been the problem for a while now. Thank you for leaving.
Thank you for not participating. Get the fuck out. And that's actually, it actually led to, it's.
Thank you, don't come again.
Thank you, never come again. Don't breed either. Anyways, my bad. It's something that we've been trying to I've been trying to pinpoint the problem for a while because there's a duality in problems that we've been having at the shop.
Okay.
And it's you've got one member of the management team that's lazy. So where you have this trickle-down effect in management, you also have this trickle-up effect. You also have this puddling of laziness.
Yeah.
And it really did start when
culture.
Right. Well, it's just like you've got this one particular manager who does they have a lot of health problems. So I give them a lot of grace on that. But it's just like you cannot get better if you don't try.
Yeah.
It's like, am I a size 0? Fuck no. Would I ever want to be a size 0? Fuck no. I see them girls come in and they're like, oh, I'd really love to have a cheeseburger, but I just throw it up. Like, they're like, I can't even do desserts because it's too much sugar. I have seen size 0 diabetics.
Yeah. Just because you're skinny doesn't mean that you don't have diabetes.
I'm cold. I'm hot. I'm too cold. I'm too hot. I literally watched one grab onto her partner because we had a strong wind come through the building. But anyways, so apparently this one manager got into this lazy kick because they noticed the store manager wasn't doing blah, blah, blah. And it's like, it's really interesting because it's like this particular individual does not like the store manager. But they've got a fake game that's strong. Their fake game is so strong. I know that this gal has reported our store manager at least 3 times since I've been there for non-participation of work, for non-participation of management, and non-participation of leadership. So what does that mean? It basically means that bitch sitting around, she ain't doing nothing. She's nothing. She's not teaching us anything new. And she's throwing everything at us and not helping. And I can tell when these reports are done, besides the fact of her telling me that, oh, I called redacted and let her know that this bitch is like only at 82% sales floor capacity. And it's like, first of all, you're being petty.
Yeah.
You're being super petty. And I don't do petty pennies. I can't stand it because it makes me want to be a petty penny.
Oh, you want to play this game, do you? Well.
Like, listen, bitch.
Let me illuminate you on how it's played.
I have an older sibling who was tough on me. Let me tell you what, my pity game can be strong. Yeah. She's just a petty penny. That's the best way I can say it. She's just so petty. And life isn't fair to any of us.
Yeah.
if life was fair, uh, one of my parents wouldn't be going through the health issues they are. My step parent wouldn't be having to deal with what they are. I would, I would have siblings that felt at all times good in health, physically and mentally. I would feel good in health, physically and mentally. I wouldn't be no size 0, but I'd be like a size 10 because I think that's like 10, 12 is like a really good curvaceous size to be when you're short.
Okay.
Life's not fair to any of us. It's how you let it go and do things to better yourself.
Yeah.
Like we all know, they all know from listening to me chatter and you chatter. Me chatter, Dagda chatter, right? They're used to it because you didn't want to give up lasagna and spaghetti and meatballs and all this delicious carb heavy shit that turns into sugars, but you had to for your better health. You had to really change your game about it.
Yeah.
Because we let's not lie, we all know how delicious a Carl's Jr. double bacon cheeseburger is.
Yeah.
Which I haven't had for a very long time either. It's like I thought about stopping and getting a burger the other day, and I told my partner, I was like, I thought about stopping and getting a burger coming home. Why didn't you? First of all, just to get a hamburger is a minimum of $12.
Yeah.
To get a decent hamburgers. Now, Jack in the Box, I'll promote them all day. I loved working for him, except for the one manager, who was the manager who was stealing. But anyways, their slider burgers is pretty good. They're delicious. Salty as fuck, but delicious. Right? So the partner says, why didn't you stop yourself a burger? I said, well, because I didn't want to get myself a burger knowing this was my budget. Because I'm trying to do really good with my budget since it's full-time work, but I'm not working 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
Thank God. Because I have the last 3 weeks, I've essentially worked almost 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
And I don't have a strong enough mental health. My mental health is not strong enough yet to deal with the public and the personalities that much. Like if I could do everything that I've been doing in the last week, but just notch it back by 25% on the physicality, because my back, like, it's not even my back, it's like the back side of my hip. Like, when you grow muscles, you feel swole, and then sometimes it pinches stuff if you're already overweight. You know what I mean? Like, on the back side of the socket for my hip joint is what's sore, and sometimes it's downright painful. Yeah. And what I've been told is, like, it's really close to sciatic nerve. So I'm probably out of alignment. I probably need a chiropractor, but I don't have like all this extra money to go get an evaluation done by finding a new chiropractor and then the $60 of treatment. I just don't. It's one of those things where it's like when your knee hurts and it's like, you're like, oh, if it would just pop, it would feel so much better.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. Only it's painful.
Yeah.
So if I could do 25% less of the physicality, I'd be okay with working 40 hours a week. But I can't because I have to do somebody else's physicality. And all these people have been like, oh, why are you sweating today, honey? It's called work. It's called a job. I had an employee say to me, she goes, oh, you're sweating. And I said, yeah, redacted. It's called I'm working. Why are you working that hard? They don't pay us enough money. Yep. I don't know. Things are about to go. Somebody came into work, apparently, and had an attitude problem because my back hurts. I've got to go to the emergency room because I think my chiropractor fucked me up. You went to the chiropractor 6 days ago, bro. How are you just now figuring it fucked you up? My manager also says, oh, we've also got a call out from redacted. Oh, yeah? That's weird. Yeah, apparently he's shitting everywhere and has to clean up the shit. And as he's cleaning up the shit, it's making him sick and he's shitting more. I'm like, what? Apparently he's had ongoing diarrhea for like 2 days. I'm like, oh, well, he
ate some of that lettuce.
He ate some of that nasty lettuce, I guess. I don't know. And then we had another person call out that I actually really needed to work because I was just like, if I've got this individual, I can make these last 7 hours of my work week. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. He couldn't come in because he was having diarrhea everywhere. Mm. Well, I guess he had 2 excuses. I got the diarrhea. Oh, wait, no, that's not diarrhea. I'm throwing up. So I don't know which it was. If you don't know what it's coming out of, I don't know what's wrong with you.
Got the mouth-to-ass disease.
I'm telling you. But on the bright side, like, I wish everybody well. even the employee who just quit with this is my note, would not give it to the person they were supposed to, because that's one of the things is you're supposed to give it to your store manager if they're there.
Yeah.
I am not in any way, shape, or form a store manager. I'm an assistant store manager, which means I can help you with your problems, but I have to work twice as hard as the regular employee there. Don't ask me to produce anything either. I don't know how people do that, because I get instant angry when I touch anything sticky or dirty, because we have so many people come in that want to carry around. Somebody spilled ice cream on the floor and smeared it into the floor and then used clothes to try to cover it up. So not only, and this is while our system's down and we can't even fucking mop. So I had to hand clean it, which, trust me, I did not get on my hands and knees to clean it. I got me a cleaning rag and I got it covered with cleaner and I put it on the ground and I zhooshed it about, and that's going to have to be good enough, because it wasn't found until 7:45 at night. And I have to close this side of the building. Then I have to chase all the customers out, and I got to close that side of the building, because the other manager I was closing with, she can't do it. She's shorter than me, and so it literally takes her 15 minutes to walk from one side of the building to the next. So whatever. So 15 minutes to walk through this part of the building, and then another 10 to get to the other. So it's like a half-hour project to us. Anyways, but so the person just, I don't wish anybody bad, ill will or anything. I wish everybody well. No matter how you've treated me, I wish you well. I wish you get everything you deserve and more. Get a little bonus going on. So, and the individual can't understand why we don't care. Like, I think they really thought by giving it to me that I was going to be like, oh, please don't go. No, I'm like, okay, cool. When's your last day? And I like how they thought they were going to be assy with me, and it's an at-will state. Oh, okay. And it was funny because I made sure to call the store manager immediately and say, so this individual just quit. Send them up here. Oh, I tried twice. Blah 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 blah. And that was one of the things. And so when is their last day? The last shift they worked, they called out for their last shift. Oh yes, I know. So they're not coming into their shift today. No, ma'am. I want to know why there's not. How is this? I don't understand. I said, I don't know. I have a note for you. I did not read it, and because it's for you. I said, but what they told me is this is an at-will state, and at their own will, they're leaving the position, and at their own will, they're choosing not to talk to you. At-will state does not mean anything other than the employer at any time can take you away from your job. Yes, you're a human. You have a right at your own will not to. But here's the thing when you quit your job without notice and without cause. So without notice, so say you quit because on August 25th, you're starting a new job. So you are expected. Today is August. Let's say today's August 10th. You tell your employer, my last day is going to be August 24th. That is 2 weeks. That is what is a general business practice, right? Now, here's what happens if you don't give your employer notice. First of all, if you have a history with the company, you're no longer hireable by them, number one, especially in the industry that we're in. You're no longer hireable by them, number one. Number two, and believe me, it gets out there. You get known in the retail world as not worth your weight in gold.
Yeah.
You're not worth your weight in spit.
Unreliable. That
is correct. And even though in our state there's only 3 questions that can be asked about the employee, there's one key one. There's one key one that we get to ask, which is a very telling thing.
Would you hire them again?
Exactly.
Hell no.
When did they work for you? What was their wage? Would you hire them again? Now, I will tell you, my boss, she does not like making people to where they are not rehirable. Because she is very much, just because of her history and background, she's very much she doesn't believe in second chances. She believes in 3 chances, 3 opportunities to make it right. And she's going through a little world of her own thing because one of her and nobody really knew for sure because it was rumored. And, you don't believe gossip or rumors, but it was actually verified that her best friend was working for us and then just shit out on the job because of her addiction problems. And, but that was her third strike. Now she's not hireable. She wasn't hireable after the last time either, because the last time she was no call, no show for the last 7 days of her notice. So, anyways, yeah, it's been wild. Yeah, and it's been crazy. What about you? What's the newest thing for you at work? What are you struggling with anything?
Yeah.
Like everybody?
For the most part, I mean, I'm not one of those people that needs to like the people that I work with. It just makes it easier.
So how many people there just irritate the fuck out of you every day? I know one manager for sure when she's around.
Well, that I don't see her every day, so it's not that big of a deal.
Is it the ongoing battles with the boys with the small balls?
Yeah, I don't have any problems with any of the guys that I work with, even when they're fighting amongst themselves.
Literally, sometimes when I come back there, when I come back and look around and my guys are doing their thing, I literally want to pull up a bowl of popcorn and just watch it happen. I just want to see it happen.
Yeah. Yeah, and since the one dude who I almost had a problem with quit, I think everybody there likes me, which is always weird to me, but the one other coworker that I have that works in my same area that I can take him or leave him.
Mm-hmm.
Even he seems to like me as much as he likes anybody there, because it doesn't seem like he likes anybody there. Yeah.
Yeah. So he does. I'll tell you just from firsthand knowledge, he likes you. It's disgusting. It's look. I've known you almost 17 years.
You're so old.
You're so decrepit, bro. It's not surprising to me because you take things kind of like with just a glancing blow. Like you're just like yep, I can see being angry. I'd be frustrated too. Yep. And I think because you have that ability to be in other people's shoes, I think that makes you more likable because it's just like you don't sit there and say, oh, well, Jimmy John told me A and Dingledork told me B and Mickleboo, like you don't sit there and throw anybody in the bus. You're just like, okay, so I was told to do. If that's not right, tell me what to do.
Yeah.
You're very flexible with. I mean, now you're not always happy about it, and I know you're not always happy about it.
Yeah.
But you are you just have a calmness about you. And that's exactly what your coworkers need is that calmness where it's like, yep, once upon a time I'd have been mad too, but it's not worth getting that angry about. It's a job, we do it, and then we go home. That's how it is.
3 of them have a tendency to get really riled up. And then like
you stepped into my pod square. Why did you cross you bastard? Why did you touch those keys? I mean, God. And then you ever notice, and you ever notice when they're, one of them's not missing, 2 of them are ganging up on the other, and it doesn't matter what combination is. If A and B are there, they're talking shit about C. And if C and B are there, they're talking shit about A.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing I've noticed, and I laugh about, and I actually saw it this weekend, because I don't always get to be part of like production huddles or whatever. So I actually saw it, I think it was this weekend. Was it Saturday? No, Thursday. Yeah, no, it was Saturday. It was part of the production huddle. I got to see it where person A, who I think, I go youngest to oldest when I say ABC.
Okay.
Okay, so now you got that in your mind, who's what. So A says, when the managers come in, we're doing this meeting and everything, and they're like, I literally like, hey, do you guys got anything? And my co-manager's like, yeah, is there anything for us? Like, come on, we're here. We literally had 7 minutes left on meeting time. Like, what the fuck? And they're like, no, because B's not here. And B's the one who makes everything run over. If it ain't B, it's C. And it's just like, I'm like, bus thrown under.
Yeah.
It's, I'm not going to say.
Fair, though, they weren't wrong.
Right. Well, they're not completely right either because they're chiding them along.
Yeah.
But what I find interesting is person A and person B and person C. I have had this observation when they ask Dagda for help. They'll be like, hey, Dagda, can you give me a minute, please? I actually hear them say please to you. And Thank you so much for your help, Dagda. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dagda. They're very pleased and thank you with you. Okay. I've heard them ask old goat
Okay.
who worked
Yeah.
crosswise. Okay. I adore him.
Yeah.
I adore him to death. I've heard them say, hey, old goat, come here. You need help with this. It's two different actions and reactions, even though that individual is a very polite individual.
Yeah, I mean, he isn't like, I tend to say please and thank you a lot, even when they're just doing what they're supposed to be doing.
Right.
But the thing is, one thing in particular I always thank them for is when they take my Gaylord that's full away.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Because if it's full and I can't put more
You've
shit in there,
got to stack your own shit up on your thing.
Or I have to do it myself. I have to leave my pod and take it out and put it in the.
And fucking with them Gaylord, let me tell you what, I don't like fucking with them Gaylords.
I actually like doing that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's different from what I'm normally doing. So
Yeah.
it's not that big of a deal. It only takes like 5 minutes or whatever.
So the next time a router position opens up, that's what you should go for. It would probably mean changing your schedule, but just remember that position's called a router.
Yeah. So anyway, whenever one of them does that, I thank them for it.
Me too. High five.
Even though it's like that's what they're fucking supposed to be doing.
Yeah. I think that's the thing is that, it's really funny because our problematic manager,
mm-hmm.
Why are you thanking them for doing their job? Because it's a thankless job. I was just like, you never know how far a please and thank you will take you.
Yeah.
And old goat looking at me the other day, and I don't know if he actually, because he's not the first one, and knock on wood, I can continue the trend, but he's like, there's my favorite manager. And I was just like, aw. And I don't think he's fucking with me, but I think I am one of his two favorite people. Because I don't do this hyper yell thing. I don't do what my favorite coworker does, which is when she gets riled up after the boss, it's trickle-down effects.
Mm-hmm.
And she's responsible for making sure that pod is clean and tidy. And she just starts yelling and throwing. And I'm just like, damn.
Yeah.
I don't do that. I believe in gentle, like, hey, it was a great day. We got through it. You're still kind of messy. So make sure to clean it up. And if you need help, just ask. And I don't know if that's the difference, the reaction I get from the employees. So I'm like, if you need help, ask.
Yeah.
I don't know, because I'm not as jaded as the rest of them are, because I refuse to let, it is an effort of will. It's an absolute effort of will to not let somebody who literally gets their jollies off of being cruel and condescending and is mean to people, because they do it to everybody.
Yeah.
Especially to myself and my one co-manager. Nothing brings them more joy than to try to show their intellectual superiority, which they have none, by going, I've been doing this game a lot longer than you, and you can't come in here with try to have a positive attitude and bring everybody up and make them more positive.
Yeah. Because
let me tell you what, they've already figured it out by now that we work really close proximity, right? Everybody knows. Everybody knows we're not fooling anyways, and that's fine. And I don't really fucking care, because none of our coworkers, none of them listen, because I refuse to give them the name of the podcast. And it's not because I don't want them to hear A, B, C, or D. It's not that. It's because this is my therapy. This is your therapy. This is our therapy. This is what we do to have a good time, and as we talk a lot. And yeah, like fucking it's yes, I get it, 80-20. I get it. Shut the fuck up. But our big boss, the big company boss in our building, have you noticed what she's been doing the last few weeks? So since I've been there, she asked me, the first 2 weeks I was there, she asked me, she goes, so what do you think? And I looked her dead in the face and I said, the lack of accountability between regular employees and management is astounding to me. I watched this individual and this manager do these things, which is against company policy. And when you asked about it, I was like, they didn't just say, hey, I did it. It was an easier way to do it. Unbelievable. So yeah, did I have a rough start with them? Of course. And I don't really care, because don't tell me during my interview and when you hire me, I want somebody who's going to be fucking honest in here. I want somebody who's going to hold my team members, our team members, accountable. The other manager that was there, who is not it's not the manager I don't get along with. It's one of the two I get along with.
Mm-hmm.
The older of the two that I get along with.
Okay.
She was just like, I'm going to be honest. She goes, I lack accountability. And she goes, and it would be refreshing to have somebody who can be honest about it. She goes, it's going to suck for a while until we get used to how honest you are, but I think it'll be good.
Mm-hmm.
And it could implement some positive changes and maybe weed out some of the problems that we've been trying to figure out how to get rid of for months.
Yeah.
So I knew that that was my job coming in. I knew my job was to continue to maintain brutal honesty. Now, have I softened up the edges a little bit since? Absolutely. Absolutely. I've softened up the edges. But it's really, when you come into a company like this where you have multiple assistant managers and the type of industry we do and all of that, it's overwhelming because you've already got these two managers going, you have to watch out for this individual, and this individual going, oh, these individuals are lazy liars because they're under the age of 50. So you have to work out the truth for yourself, and you have to do observations. So I had a conversation about 6 or 7 weeks ago with the boss at our store.
Mm-hmm.
And she was just like, what concerns this, that, and just a whole gamut of things. And I said, listen, I was just like, I don't know if you figured me out yet, but there's 2 things you ought to know by now. One, I'm not going to lie to you. I don't see a point in it. I was just like, if you don't want me here anymore, if I'm not working out as your employee and as your assistant manager, being honest and doing all these things, you let me know and I'll give you notice. Number 1. I said, number 2, if you want to know why all these people, except for the 2 people closest, the 3 people closest to the manager who keeps attacking me, observe. Pay attention to what's going on. Because I observe and I listen and then I react. Am I a sensitive individual? Of course I'm a sensitive individual. I'm very sensitive. When you're not sure about your position and everything, you're very sensitive. So she's been observing more and she's seen exactly what I said. This father and this son and this other individual, and one of the individuals that's now gone, right? Mm-hmm. These 3 people, she keeps telling them things that aren't true because she's working off of policies and procedures from, you want to know why individual B is the way he is with C and A? Is because years ago, the company used to have another form of management.
Yeah.
And they don't do that. They gave it all to the assistant managers because they weren't going to put in another price. They weren't going to put in another pay tier in there. Yeah. And that's the thing is so they've been thinking if they just step up and put everybody in their place, they're going to be like that, but they can't be accountable. So Redacted started noticing that, oh shit, our new employees, you and the 2 other individuals, the gal and old goat, I should just call him goat because he's just, every time I see him, he reminds me of Billy Goat Gruff. And he don't even have a beard or nothing. Just like the way he walks around, like when I was just like, hey, guess what? What are we going to do? And he's like, damn it, the way he stomps when I call recovery. But if you notice, you and Goat and our little angel, all 3 of you, are you guys as fast as they would like you to be? No, but you're putting out better quality.
Mm-hmm.
So there's that. And then we also have our newer cashiers too. So she's been observing, where are our problems at? Our problems are with the people encircling this one boss. So what did she say a few weeks ago when B and C had their big argument and they were just fuck you going on?
I don't remember.
If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. You're not here to make friends and buddies. You're here to do a job. Yeah. So instead of talking to each other, call a manager. And it's funny because that's exactly the way mommy.
Hi, mommy.
That's exactly what mommy would say when I was a kid. Is if you girls don't have anything nice to say, just don't say anything at all. And, the wisdom from somebody who only had the example of her parents, which was a very overprotective mother and a very strong-willed father. Mm. And then, of course, her older brother. There's 10 years between them. 10 years difference, I think. Maybe 11. I don't know. But literally. So B started saying something the other day, and I just looked at him, and I said, I'm sorry, what was that? And he goes, oh. He goes, sorry, I'm kind of wound up from this thing that happened earlier. Did it get resolved? well, you know what Laura says? I do. If you don't have anything nice to say, you shouldn't say anything at all. And I said, so did you need my help with something? Or I just want to know how you're doing today, Miss Jen. And I said, well, Mr. Redacted, I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. How are you doing? I'm doing great. Is it your Friday? Yes. Well, hallelujah. Isn't that a blessed thing? I don't like you because you stood there and like, dude, the day I caught him in the lie and confronted him in front of everybody, I thought our boss was just going to die laughing because she was just like, because I told her, I was just like, oh, I haven't even fought. I got really sick. I was really sick. And then I was back for a week and then I got sick again. And it's not that I got better for a week. It's that I had a double ear infection and sinus infection and trying to turn into like an upper respiratory infection. Mm-hmm. So I just needed a lot of drugs to get through it. So yeah, the 3 days I was there were days he didn't even work and then he tried to blame me for something. Oh, game on. So I just don't play that game. I just don't.
Yeah.
And I think because you actually have a lot of individual friends that like run through the spectrum of personality and moral compass. Like
I've had a lot of assholes for friends.
And you do have a lot of assholes for friends. You know, and I would honestly say that the one friend that everybody claims is an asshole, I'm going to say he's probably not an asshole. He's probably just likes things his own way.
Very particular.
Well, yeah, but but you have a huge gamut of friends, so it makes it to where like friend types.
Yeah.
And me, I can't do that as much as you do, because inevitably it ends up being that person A hates person B, and why are you talking? Or I got to listen to it from other sources, and it's just like, I personally am very happy having a very small circle. Mm-hmm. I love that in my private life, I've got you and Bogey I talk to and a few other people, but like it's not an immense, I couldn't keep up with a circle like yours.
My circle wasn't that big.
Well, your gaming group is a big portion of your friends.
Yeah.
And so I couldn't, if all 12 of you were together at once, I couldn't. That would be overwhelming to me. It'd be too much for me. Because I'd be like, ladies, I'm sorry if the dudes are being asses. Dudes, don't be such asses to the ladies, because, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just weird. And then your one friend and your other friend who don't work.
Yeah.
But mental health is, everybody's got issues.
Yeah.
But you definitely have one friend who's an asshole. For sure.
Oh, yeah, at least one.
At least one. And he admits it. And you know what? That's a step up from when we met him, 12 years ago? That's a huge step up from where he was 12 years ago. He's just like, I'm just a private individual. Now he's like, oh, no, I'm totally an asshole. It's like, it's progress. Anyways, so the work's going. It's going well for you then.
Yeah.
I still am we're doing this transitionary thing at work. And I am still 100% in the boat of changing your position, even though it's a little more uncomfortable for you because you'd be dealing with the public a little bit more. Mm-hmm. I think it would be the best thing for us to have you do like the organizations and running on the floor. Mm-hmm. Because you've got, oh my God, we have this little Taiwanese lady or Vietnamese. She's Vietnamese. I think she's Vietnamese. We have this little Vietnamese lady, and I can't tell if she just doesn't like the one manager or what, but I definitely know that bitch knows English. She 100% knows English because she had her kids in the other day. I'm like, girl, you can't have your kids run around. You know that. Oh, I know, but I just wanted a break. Isn't that what they always say? So, Ben, don't tell me you don't know English when you're telling me shit that you hear the customer saying. Come on now. Her idea of putting things up in an organized fashion is if she sees something like it on the shelf, slapping it down on top of it. Mm. Somebody got into her bins yesterday, and it was a Korean lady. Mm. Yep. And it was like, I was like Asian Showdown. It was like great. But on the work note of things, I keep getting emailed from, I wouldn't say it's a competitor because charity is not the same as just a general thrift store.
Yeah.
A certified charity is not the same as a general thrift store. Yeah. But what I will say, What I will say is, like, so from the one email I got a week and a half ago from, like I'm listed on Indeed.com, because it's like you need to help with to help anybody with their own peace of mind. They should stay active on the and just have their shit listed, because you never know what opportunity could come that could be a life-changing opportunity.
Yeah.
Right. And so anyways, I started getting emails from this other company, and it was just like, hey, you might be interested in this job, and it was just like, yeah, okay, no thanks. No. I mean, if I literally worked a half mile away and not 3 miles away, I'd be like, I could do minimum wage and be just, I don't want responsibility, but I don't not want it.
Yeah.
It's like, at least if I have a responsibility, at least then I can listen to all the employees and what they're saying. And like my big thing right now is pushing accountability.
Yeah.
The boss is just like, can we correct this? Can we correct this? And I said, yeah, we can correct this. I said, but believe you me, I don't think it's right they're going to keep doing this. We have A, B, and C who keep fucking shit up on purpose. And now D, he is starting to do it too, because he's tired of taking metros out. He doesn't want to take his metros out. He hates being on the floor.
Yeah.
And I was just like, all it does, it started out with individual B, and it moved on to C, because now nobody's got areas of responsibility, because I'm not producing. Why should I have an area of responsibility? And then it was, yeah, you are, because you're responsible for this. Just because you do that, you're still responsible for this. And then it went to A. So all of them doing it. Now we're on to D. So we got A, B, C, D. And I'm like, you need to hold these people accountable. And I was talking to another manager who I worked with yesterday morning briefly, early day. And I said to her, and I was just like, oh, I'll fix it if you want. I was like, but believe you me, these people need to do it right the first time. And somebody needs to be out here with them doing it right and correcting it every time. Because I flat out told her straight to her face, I said, I would call it to their face, and I'm telling you to your face, this individual and this individual, they both like to just shove and go. I've literally seen D take stuff over to sporting goods because he couldn't make any room in electronics or whatever he was trying to drop off. One of them was a stereo. There was no room there, so he literally just set it down in front of the bin that holds the baseball bats. And then it was face creams or something that belongs in health and beauty. He hung on the rack in linens. So don't tell me I'm not fucking seeing it, because I'm fucking seeing it. But that's my thing, is I'm pushing accountability. So anyway, so a week ago. So apparently this other thrift store is cleaning the house, which does not surprise me, because I've had some of their employees come in and go like, yeah, like, they're like, what was the one? The one lady was telling me that they have a really big problem with their production crews stealing shit, and nobody was getting fired. Well, guess what? They're cleaning house. They've got tons of position opens. So I started a week ago with getting that, and I'm like, oh, okay, good for you, whatever. And then like 4 days ago, I got an email going, this person is interested in you. Would you like them to email you directly? And I just don't answer it, because what I noticed between 4 days ago and then yesterday is the bare minimum you're going to earn went up. I think it was 21 cents an hour.
Okay.
And I'm like, well, we'll see. Once you reach that top end number, because they have sent me emails for cashiering, which I could do, as long as it was the same for, don't ask me to go after shoplifters or whatever. It's bad enough that I'm the designated shoplifter monster now. Look, can you explain to me how I've gotten 2 of them arrested in being there less than 6 months, when the other managers have all been in that store for at least 2 years or more, haven't been able to get the 2 most prolific man and woman arrested? How?
Good question.
It's called doing your fucking job, bitch. It's, but that's the thing, is that it's a lack of accountability and a lack of drive. So how do you change that? You show them results. And I don't sit there and say, well, I did this, okay, because I was paying attention. I don't do that. I say it took the whole team being observational for us to find this. Because if you give credit to your crew, even when they don't necessarily deserve it, when you say it's a team effort, it empowers them more. Because now I've got 2 of my cashiers, when they're like, hey, come pay for that here. You need to pay for that merchandise. I literally walked up the other day, and my one guy who didn't hardly say, he's been there almost 2 years and he hardly talks to nobody. And I saw him telling this lady, if you're not going to come back here and pay for your shit, then don't fucking come back. And I didn't have a problem with him talking to the customer like that because she was calling him the N-word. Mm. And not like a friendly hood type thing. It was, she literally said, you're a dirty ass N-word working for white people. I was like, oh shit. Sipped my tea and watched what's going to happen. And he was just like, he called her a dirty ass because she was stealing. And I'm like, okay, stop. I'm like, ma'am, you don't need to talk to him that way. You just don't need to come back. Why, bitch? Why? Because you're stealing. And that's not something, I usually don't say it that way. And she goes, no, I'm not. I'm like, lady, I can see the tag on the bag. And the other cashier's like, well, she did pay for her snacks. Did she pay for that bag? Did she pay for the shirt? Did she pay for any of the shoes that she put in her bag? Did she pay for any of that? Oh, no, she just paid for a bag of chips and a drink. She goes, I paid something. And the shit part about it was actually a brand new bag. So we get new goods that come in.
Yeah.
So anyways, I'm waiting to see what this email is going to say as far as pay goes. Because I'm like, if you get up to $1 more an hour than I'm making, I might actually consider that a 7-mile drive. Well, because it's a whole different ball. Working for charity is a whole different ball game than working for an average retail store.
Yeah.
And, University Place is, not too far. Yeah. And it's a very nice town with a very low crime rate.
Yeah.
I think the only one that's got a lower crime rate in Pierce County is like Furcrest. Mm. Because it's only like 6 blocks by 10,
Nothing worth stealing there.
There isn't. Generation live there. But the sad thing is Fiore's isn't there at the delicatessen. It used to be there.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never really hung out over there. I just drove past it.
They have this fantastic family-owned delicatessen there. They had the best pastrami sandwiches. Mm. But here's the thing about it. It was so fattening. You would put a pound on just eating their food. So you could only go I would go once a month, because when I used to work for True Grain and I was doing a lot of physical work, I was walking 9 to 14 miles a day.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, it's my Friday. I'm actually not working this weekend. This is crazy. Me and a buddy of mine who was, and it's so funny, he was the tree guy for the area. His name was Joe, R.A.P. It was Joe. And Via Force. It was Via Force, not Ferroni's. It was Via Force, and we'd go there and we'd get a sandwich and we'd have their homemade, whatever their daily salad was. Most of the time it was like a dill potato salad. Oh yeah. We'd go get a sandwich, we'd get a side, we'd share the side, we'd have chips. We'd do that like once a month. But best pastrami because they did it all in-house. But they don't have that there now. Now it's like, it's Ferroni's or whatever. I don't know. Anyways, so we'll see. University Place isn't that far away, and it's a nicer part of town than the part of town I work in.
Yeah.
And even the part of town the part of town I work in is actually considered better than a half mile away.
Yeah.
And what's really interesting is, so when I talked to the police force, because it was me that got these two, and again, it's a team effort, because if nobody had ever pointed it out, I would have never known that they were problematic.
Yeah.
And if I didn't have the support from my team when I'm like, keep your eyes on this individual because I have to track where they're moving, but there's so many moving parts in any given day. Yesterday, I was having a conversation with somebody and they actually did this to me. And I said, ma'am, I'm having a conversation with you, but you have to realize I don't need to look at you to have this conversation because I'm watching 7 other things. I'm sorry, was that rude? In my face is really fucking rude.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. But I'm going to make one condition. If I ever go to that company, I'm going to make one condition that you work the same shift as me and you work in production. And that they pay $2 more an hour than you're making right now. That's my condition. Well, I have to have my pit bull. Anyways, well, good. I'm glad that you feel things are going really well on the job site, but I'm pretty sure you'd still rather be doing something else.
Yeah.
Besides video games.
Oh. Yeah, sleeping.
Hey, speaking of which, so I started a new 7 Days to Die map, and I'm super excited because I named it after one of Harry's names. And all these stars are all different towns. It's the most towns I've gotten yet.
Nice.
Super excited. I'm only like an hour, 2 hours into that map. I'm trying to find a map that when Bogey and I get a chance to get together and do a 7 days to die day, that it'll be fun. So I got a lot of work to do. But anyways.
Yeah, I started playing Total Warhammer again yesterday. Yeah, yesterday.
Total Warhammer again?
Yep.
Did it have updates or new assignments, or you're just getting back into it?
Yeah, it has had some updates since the last time I played it, but also there's something like 40 factions or something like that, and I've only played like 5 or 6 of them. 2 I played till I won the main campaign, although you can continue playing after that.
Yeah.
The rest of them I played, like, I started playing and then I'm like, this is too difficult for me, for my skill level right now. Because that game is it can be super ridiculous.
Yeah.
Because it's made to be that way. Yeah.
Let's take a break so I can go pee, because I literally have been sitting here for the last hour drinking water and coffee. I feel like I'm double fisting it for fundraising. But you know what the great thing is, talking about work a little bit, we've had some more highs than it's been a little more positive than it's been. We are seeing some positive changes, which, by the way, I get to say to you that your guys we've got a reorganization happening right now, because we're getting ready to do a seasonal change. And you guys did fantastic. It looks great. And I will say what I saw you and Goat working on, because I only saw you guys working on the back wall and then 2 specific aisles. That's all I actually saw you 2 doing, because everybody was kind of teamed up. It looks great, and it still looks great. Yeah.
Yep.
Because you're awesome.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, I'll tell you what. We always work it out, right?
Yeah.
Have a fantastic day.
Later.
Bye. Okay, everybody. That's all the time we have for today. So I want to thank you for stopping by to enjoy the conversation. We're glad you're here, and please share and share again and share some more. And if you haven't already, subscribe. We'll be having another chat and another cup soon. We'll talk to you then. Look forward to seeing you.